All right, hello Algebra. So finally, I remembered to upload a practice quiz for you guys. So that's what we're working on today. And this video should answer how to answer all the questions on the practice quiz and then the actual quiz tomorrow, because the practice quiz is going to look pretty much exactly the same as the quiz. Okay, so for this first one, it says use the table to determine at least 5 points on the function y equals negative 2x plus 1. Then graph the function. So when it lets us decide our own x values, our own inputs, our own domain, we just want to put like 0 in the middle of our table. And from 0, we're going to be going down to negative 1 and negative 2, and then up to 1 and 2. And I need to solve for y. So let's see. Y here is going to be negative 2 times negative 2 plus 1. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 plus 1, and positive 4 plus 1 is 5. Y here is going to be, by the way I got that, I just plugged it into this equation, this y equals negative 2x plus 1. I'm going to do the same thing, so negative 2 times negative 1 plus 1. Negative 2 times negative 1 is going to be positive 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. Next, I have negative 2 times 0 plus 1. Negative 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is going to be 1. Negative 2 times 1 plus 1. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. And negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. And negative 2 times 2 plus 1, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So these are going to be my points that I'm plotting now. So I have negative 2, 5, which is right there. I have negative 1, 3, which is here. I have 0, 1. One, negative 1. And 2, negative 3. So with this one, it didn't specify the domain. I chose my domain. I chose negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. But it didn't tell me I had to do that. It didn't say there was a restricted domain. It just said to determine 5 points on that function. So this means that I would connect these points. And I would make them go on forever. I want that to be a straight line that continues on forever, because I could plug in any x value and get a y value. It's not like it's not going to exist for some numbers. And would this be discrete or continuous? So if it doesn't have any gaps and we can plug in any x value and get an answer, it is continuous. So that's how you would answer number 1. And number 2 is a word problem. And I remember we did something like this on Thursday in the notes. And then Yeah, we didn't actually graph it, but we did everything else similar. So you and your friend want to go to a 4-night anime convention, but you don't know how long you can stay. A hotel room would cost $60 a night plus a $30 deposit fee. Write a function to represent the total amount you would spend on the hotel during this convention. So the total amount would be, to write a function, I remember on Thursday, please reference your notes from Thursday. We started with f of x equals, and then it's going to be 60 per night. So I want to do 60x, where x is going to be my nights, and then plus that $30 deposit fee. So plus 30 from the beginning. F of x equals 60x plus 30. So it says use the graph to model the situation. But I don't have any data points here, so I can make some. I'll come over here. Yeah, I'll come over into the sidebar here. And I got x and y, or I guess x and f of x. So it's a 4-night convention, and I'm not going to be spending 0 nights because, then I wouldn't even have to pay the deposit fee at the hotel. So if I spent 1 night, let's see, that would be 60 times 1 plus 30. 60 times 1 is 60, plus 30 is 90. If I spent 2 nights at the hotel, that'd be 60 times 2 plus 30. 60 times 2 is 120, plus 30 is 150. If I spent 3 nights, 60 times 3 is 180, plus 30 is 210. And if I spent 4 nights, 60 times 4 is 240, plus 30 is 270. And I'm not going to go to 5 because it said it's just a 4-night convention. I don't want to stay longer. There's no need for me to do that. Let's see. So these are the points that I'm going to plot for part B. So it says use the graph to model the situation. So I'm going to plot, and I know that we have to go approximate here. And let's remember that these, this x-axis is counting by halves. So there's my 1, there's my 3, there's my 5. So the first point is going to be 190, and 90 would be about there. So there's 190. And then I have 2 150. So 2 150 is approximately here. And then I have 3 210. 210 is about there. And 4 270. So 4 270 is about here. And I'm not going to go to 5. I'm not going to go to 0. These are my 4 points. So there is my graph of the situation. The next question asks us the domain and range. So the domain is the x values, the inputs. And we're going to use those curly brackets. So it's just 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the range is the y values, the outputs. So it's 90, 150, 210, and 270. There's no way that I could spend like somewhere between 90 and 150. There's no way that I could spend like $130 because there's no amount of nights that I would spend that would get me that like number. It goes up a constant rate each night. It's not like I can spend half a night there. So state the independent and dependent variables. So y'all seem to be fine with this from what I've seen, but the independent variable is going to be the night, whereas the dependent variable is going to be the cost, as always. And then it's saying, would this be discrete or continuous? So since I would not connect these dots, because there's no way I can spend a night and a half, there's no way I can spend 4.5 nights, these are like the only 4 data points that would exist. This is discrete. If it's not connected, it's discrete. And this quiz, or this practice quiz, was only 2 questions. The quiz tomorrow is going to be pretty much the same. So I definitely recommend, if you're watching this video, chances are you're on top of things. So, yeah, this was the quiz review, the key pretty much. And I hope you guys do well tomorrow.